Hello and welcome to SK Live. I'm your host Shanvi Sadana. Today we have Heena Sidhu with us, who's an Olympian and also a 10-meter pistol shooting champion. A very warm welcome to you on SK Live.
Thank you. Thank you.
How are you doing? What's been
I'm doing
happening?
well. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good too, thank you. And how fascinating is your story? You started out with, giving trials for the dental school for shooting to get admission
No, no.
in school. Sorry, we lost a little bit of.
Yes.
So you started learning shooting.
Yes, it wasn't for trials in the dental college. No. I
Okay,
did.
so
I was in shooting much before I started dentistry.
okay. So are you
Yes.
still practicing dentistry?
No, actually, I finished my studies, and because both of these professions are so time consuming, and you really have to give your best in either of them. So I realized that I wouldn't be able to keep up doing sort of two professions. So after completing my studies, I decided to not be a practicing dentist, and I left it at that, and I started shooting professionally.
And how did your journey start with shooting?
So when I was studying for my medical entrance exams in 11th or 12th standard, I realized that I was spending a lot of time studying, and it took almost the whole day for me, and I missed, going out and playing some sports or something.
Hmm.
And I decided that I'll pick up shooting because I wouldn't need to go to a proper ground or have certain sort of equipment. With the limited time that I have, I can pursue this sport and also feel a little relaxed and rejuvenated. So that was my idea of starting shooting, just as a hobby. But slowly I started liking it, and I was good at it. Then I also started competing at the district
How old were
level.
you when you started shooting?
I was 17 years old when
Okay.
I started.
Okay.
So, because I was good, I started enrolling myself in competitions also. And once I started winning, then, it just worked for me, and I sort of got hooked to it and didn't leave then.
That's brilliant. And years later, you won a silver medal at the ISSF World Cup in Beijing. Tell us about that.
Uh, that was my first World Cup medal. Um a lot followed after that. So I think that was my first World Cup also, that I went to. And before going to that competition, I actually had a little bit of shoulder problem. So I did some physiotherapy before leaving for that match, and did really well over there. So that was, I think, the first silver medal that a pistol shooter had won from India. That was the first Indian pistol shooter winning a silver medal.
Okay, and thereafter, medals kept coming at the Asian Games and Commonwealth Games,
Yes.
to the London Olympics. How was that? How was that phase
Lon-
of it?
London Olympics was a great experience. It was my first Olympics. The I mean, the run up to the Olympics is what was exciting for me, because it was my first, and how to prepare for the Olympics, how to go, do a match. So that was very exciting. The match itself went very well, except for the first few shots. In the last 3-4 shots, I think I would have been in the finals. But because it gave me that confidence that with the amount of effort that I've put in,
Mhm.
I was just about to make it into the final. So if I keep at it, I will definitely make it to the finals and maybe probably win a medal one day. So that was a very
So
good
we,
experience.
yeah, yes, and we have a question from the audience. If, would you like to take that up?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
So there's a question from Mr. Karthik here who's asking, what was your feeling about becoming the first Indian pistol shooter to win gold medal in ISSF World Cup? I think it was a silver medal.
No,
Was
it
it?
was the gold medal. I silver medal was the first medal I won at the World
Yes,
Cups. Later, I got a lot of golds also.
yes.
So I think he's talking about the World Cup final medal. That was in
Mm.
2014. That was also the match where I made the world record. So it was sort of out of the blue for me. I was definitely doing well in training, but to actually go and deliver a world record performance and come out with, of course, the gold. So that was another first for an Indian pistol shooter. World Cup final gold medal for an Indian pistol shooter. So slowly, over the years, I've sort of tried to improve my medals and improve my performance. So except the Olympic medal, I have probably most of the medals there are
Yes.
to achieve.
So how was it being part of the London official games entitled first, the story of the London 2012 Olympic Games? How was that feeling?
Um, it was what do you say? It was a movie that the sponsors of the Olympic Games wanted to make with the first few Olympic participants who are going to the Olympics for the first time. And I was sponsored by Mitchell's Champions Trust at that time. Um, um, Lakshmi Mittal being the sponsor for the Olympic, being a donator for the Olympics, put my name forward, and because I was one of the um, few who was going to the Olympics for the first time, sort of a junior shooter, so I featured in that movie. Um, Other than me, I think there was a boxer, there was a wrestler, there was a taekwondo athlete. It was nice. They came all the way to India and shoot and see how I trained in my own range, and yeah, it was nice.
And in between 2012 and 2016, you again showcased great performances, but you couldn't do well in the Rio Olympics. Any particular reason for that?
Rio, the lead up to the Rio was something that I think I should have done differently.
Okay.
Um, 2 3 months before going to the game, I was going for a lot of matches. I thought if I have enough match exposure, I would know how to deal with the pressure and how to deal with the match. So I was I was trying things differently, which I shouldn't have done. I went too far to try to do well. I think that's where I made the mistake. And if I had just stuck with my way of working and not pushing myself too hard, my performance would have been definitely better than it was. It wasn't a really bad performance, but definitely it could have been better.
And what about 2013 when you won the gold medal? How does that feel? Did it bring in more confidence in your game?
2013, which medal are you talking about?
The gold medal that you won.
2013 was I don't remember which medal are you talking about.
You won so many.
Yes. So 2013 could have been, yeah, it was the World Cup final medal that I just told you about.
Yeah. So, who was your childhood sports hero? Did you have one?
No, I didn't.
No.
I was not into sports. I picked up shooting very late. As I said, I picked it up in
Yeah.
when I was 17 years old, and being throughout my childhood, I was always a student, um, focusing on the academics and trying to be a doctor. And I loved my books. I loved my studies. Yes, so I did try a lot of sports as a child, but yeah, none stuck as shooting did.
Which one was your favorite as a child?
Definitely, it would be shooting. I tried. I
Okay.
learned swimming. I learned tennis. I learned a few things, but only because there were some sports in my school, and I was exposed to some sports, and could have tried my hand at it in my school. But shooting is the one that really stuck, and of course, it's my favorite.
That's wonderful. And how helpful is your husband, Mr. Ronak Pandit?
Ronak is quite helpful. Like he's my coach. He's my coach
Yeah.
since
He's also a
2013.
shooter.
Yes, he's an ex-shooter. He's a Commonwealth gold medalist. He has been with me since 2011 as my coach. He understands me, and being a husband, he understands me, but also because he understands the sport, he brings a lot to the table
Mhm.
because of his knowledge.
So, does he help you in bringing up your confidence, your balance, your mental and physical balance
Yes,
at this
yes,
time?
yes, 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 of course, because he knows me, he knows the sport, he knows how I've been throughout the years, knows me as a person as well, not just as a shooter. And because he has been a shooter himself, has gone through so many matches, gone through so many ups and downs, that he really brings a lot on the table.
That's wonderful to have a husband like that.
Thank you.
And your family is also, into shooting. Your father being a gunsmith. Your brothers have also won national level. They are national level shooters. So does it run in the family?
Actually, this is wrong information again. I'm sorry. My father has just played in one national championship, I think, before I was even born. My brother tried shooting after I picked up shooting. He also wanted to try his hand. I think he also did one nationals. It's a long time ago. I don't remember. And my uncle is the gunsmith, and he has business in guns, and he it's because of him that I grew up with guns around me. And that is what actually inspired me to take up shooting when I wanted to, pick up a sport. That's how I naturally inclined towards shooting. They're not in my family, my side of the family. They're not into competitive sport. They just love guns and shooting. Um, but on my husband's side, his father um, is a shooter, is an international shooter. Won so many medals for the country. He won the first Commonwealth Games medal, gold medal that India ever won. So he's
Right.
also a pistol shooter. So it comes from it's in my husband's family, not my side of the family.
So you both combined together make a great shooting team.
Yes, yes.
So has the shooting scene improved in India now?
Of course, over the years, things have improved. We have much more support from the government. We have so many youngsters taking up the sport because parents also feel that sports can be a profession, not just something you do to kill time, like they used to think few years back. There's a lot of support from the government. There's support from the private sector. There are a lot of sponsorships. There are
Mhm.
a lot of academies also opening up. Previous athletes, previous Indian athletes who did really well in their respective sports have been opening up academies and imparting that knowledge at the at the grassroots level. So that has really helped the sport. We have an increased participation now, and also increase in quality, like better quality
Right.
over the years.
Right. So how do you tackle, how do you tackle your heart and mind when you're not able to get through and you're not able to win? How do you do that? Like you missed out on the Rio Olympics. How do you tackle that?
I think it's all part and parcel of the game, and every profession comes with its own challenges, not just athletes. You give your best, but not everything goes according to the plan, and that's true for life also. You make big plans, but life has other plans for you. What you can do is just focus on the things which are in your hand and just give your best in those, and then let it just happen, and whatever happens, learn from it, cherish it, and move forward. I think that's what athletes do. We Because we love our sport, it's very easy to put in the hard work, and we never even look back and think, oh my god, I put in so much hard work and I didn't even win.
Mm,
Because we know that no matter how much hard work we put, it's always going to count one day. It's always a step forward, it's never a step back. All the work that you do, all the learning that you do, you may not win today, but you just have to add on to it so that you can win tomorrow. And every match is a lesson. It's just a lesson, and you have to be humble enough to learn it and do it better the next time.
that's true. And how are you preparing yourself for the next event? Hopefully.
It depends on when we have the event. So
Yes.
right now there's too much preparation happening, but we don't have a date,
Mhm.
and um, there is still a lot of uncertainty. um, you never know when ranges will open. Like in Pune, ranges have opened, but not the 10-meter range. Only the 25-meter ranges have opened because they are outdoor ranges. So we're still waiting for the sports arenas to open. We're still waiting for people to not feel that scared of going out, and the governments and the federations also to feel it's okay to hold competitions. Till then, we may be doing all the preparation we want in our houses and in our homes, but till
Yes.
you don't go out and perform,
Mm.
you're not taking the next step. So right now, I think most of the athletes around the world are just focusing on whatever they can do with the
Mhm.
limited resources, the limited um, access to sports arenas. So when things open up, when things go back to normalcy, I think we'll have to sort of like get back in the groove again,
Right.
competitively.
Yes. And what are the chances for India in the Tokyo for shooting?
The question is, what are the chances of Tokyo happening? So
Tokyo
in
happening, and what are the chances of the medals that India is going?
India was going very well. India was doing very well. This is something I'm saying from the past year's performance, and because we haven't sort of had any matches
Right.
since the past 6-8 months. Things can change. You may have people who have fallen out of the form and people who are now in the form. You never know, and how things are in sports, it's all relative. How India
Right.
does also depends on how the world is doing.
Right.
So I think we need to have matches as soon as possible to answer that question.
Yeah, but
India was definitely doing well.
yes,
Yeah.
India was doing very well, but because of this COVID time, everybody is
Yeah.
just kind of,
Yes.
taken a back step, and
Yeah.
yeah. So there'll be a lot of hard work involved
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
whenever the conditions are right for the
Yeah.
events to take place.
Yeah. Yeah. For
Because
even the
and
events to take place.
yeah,
And we
because
need to find organizers who will be willing to take the chances,
yeah,
athletes who will be willing to go,
right,
and even governments who will be willing to support the
yes,
preparation, because I'm sure a lot of economic downfall has also happened.
happened,
So
yes,
I wish that I hope and I wish that things open up as soon as possible for sportsmen, and we can
yes,
go back to at least training, if not competition, because I think we are not even training that well
right,
uh, with the limited access to arenas.
right. That's so true. And do you think that age is just a number, or is it a barrier in shooting? Like you have
In
to be.
shooting, not so much. In shooting,
Mhm.
not so much.
Okay.
It's a sport where you can go on till you feel like, and you think you can deliver, you think you can add to the team. Other than that, I think sports is just a number in shooting. Sorry, age is just a number in shooting.
So it
There are
is
other
not.
sports.
It's not a barrier. Basically, it's not a
No,
barrier. It's not a
no,
barrier
no,
as long as your
no.
eyesight is like 22 by
No,
22.
no, you don't even need a very sharp eyesight. In fact, I have specs. I know so many shooters who have
Okay.
specs, and we use spectacles while we shoot. And I think that's true for most of the sports. I don't know any sport where you need to have a perfect eyesight. I still don't know that. If you know, do let me know.
No, no, but it's always better to have perfect eyesight because
Yeah, but a lot of shooters I know who don't have it, and you can have your spectacles and do it, or you could have your lenses. You can go for surgery depending on your number. And in
yeah,
fact, Abhinav Bindra has specs, Gagan Narang has specs. So many people have specs, and
yeah,
yeah,
that is the question for the youngsters so that they don't feel like they are hindered if their
no.
eyesight is weak. They can also go
No,
forward.
I think with the Paralympics also having such a
Mm,
strong support from
yes,
our population and government, nobody
right,
should feel hindered to start
yeah,
any sport.
right,
Eyesight is a very small thing. I have seen people who have lost much more than that, and they have a spirit to like go out and like kill people in sports. um, so it's all in your spirit. I don't think body wise or physically anything can be a hindrance.
that's true. And that's why sports brings everyone, every kind together.
Yes,
It's
yes,
binding force
yes.
that gets the world together.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, would you like to tell anything or say anything to the audience before I let you go?
um
Would you like to
Nothing.
share
I
something?
think this has been a very COVID has been a very new experience for everyone, and everyone is sort of become a student again, and they are learning their own way to, and they are learning new ways to cope up with this challenge, trying to keep themselves fit, trying to pursue any sport, and also deal with the stress, deal with the unknown future. What does it bring? So I think it's just this feeling of everyone being in the same boat, and everybody is going through the same thing. There's nothing I can tell them, like do this, do that. Everybody is fighting their own path. So I think um, luckily and hopefully we'll be out of this soon.
Yes, keeping your fingers crossed.
And keeping the fingers crossed, and hopefully
Yeah,
sports can resume again. And when it does, I want everybody to support all the sports persons who have not been able to train or not been able to go to the competition. So I think what we would need is a lot of support from everybody around us. So be ready to support all your stars.
Support. Yes, that's so true. Very well said. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time, Hina. It was
Thank you.
wonderful talking to you
Thank you.
and
Thank
getting
you.
the insights of shooting.
Yes.
And best wishes to you
Yes. Thank
for
you.
all your endeavors in the
Thank you.
future. Stay
Same to you.
safe.
Yes. Same
Thank
to you.
you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.